The United Kingdom Independence Party seems to be doing well these days. They did really well at local elections this year, actually. I suppose some see UKIP as the best alternative to the big three in British politics. The big three being the Conservatives, Labour and the Lib Dems. UKIP only has about 27,000 members nationwide at this time, but recent local elections results suggests that the party is on the up. They don't have any MPs yet, but they do have 11 MEPs. If you're not from the UK, you might not know. UKIP is, basically speaking, a right-wing populist party that's been around for about 20 years, and they want Britain to withdraw from the European Union. They want us to withdraw from the European Convention on Human Rights and the European Convention on Refugees, and they say this will help us to deport foreign criminals and terror suspects when desirable. I've heard this party's leader, Nigel Farage, if that's how you pronounce it, I've heard him make various speeches before. I can see how his views would appeal to a fair few folks in this country. I see this party as being a party which would appeal more to older people, people over the age of 50, than it would appeal to the younger generation, although I'm sure they do have some young supporters. I've noticed there are quite a few bloggers and journalists on the open internet who are quick to defend UKIP from those who would criticise it, or those who would accuse certain UKIP members of being extremists. There is a perception among some that UKIP is on the same wavelength as the average British voter, whereas the other parties are not. A number of Conservatives have defected to UKIP over the years. Some would see UKIP as eating into the Conservative vote, thus splitting the right-wing vote in this country to some degree. So if you go onto UKIP's website and check out what they stand for, you will see that we are apparently under a tide of immigration. There is a flood of immigrants, actually. We have to regain control of our borders. Yeah. So the anti-immigration rhetoric is there. A lot of right-wing populist rhetoric is designed to play on people's fears that are often misguided. According to their website, UKIP stands for Zero Tolerance on Crime. They want to double prison places, repeal the Human Rights Act, and free the cops from the so-called straitjacket that is political correctness. Yeah, tough guy politics, tough guy talk. Appeals to a sense of anger in some, perhaps a sense of obedience to authority in others. UKIP sees itself as a patriotic party which believes in traditional values, and they oppose multiculturalism. Yeah, great. looking at their website, I'm not seeing anything which really surprises me. The party published an official energy policy document last year which makes for interesting reading. It's called Keeping the Lights On. Can I assume, after reading certain sections of this document, that Ukip is a party of climate change denial? A party with a policy of disregarding the overwhelming scientific evidence? Christopher Monckton is a Ukip supporter. He's been the party's spokesperson on climate change in the past. I think he's the party's president in Scotland now. Yeah. Ukip doesn't have any representation in the Scottish Parliament, by the way. If you don't know who Christopher Monckton is, just type his name into YouTube. A YouTuber called Potholer54 made a video called Open Letter to Christopher Monckton, Please Return to the Debate. You might want to check that video out. Searchlight Magazine, see Wikipedia if you don't know who Searchlight Magazine are, they published a piece called Ukip at the Crossroads, written by Adam Carter. That was published last year, by the way. Good little read. Yeah. For those who see Ukip as a viable alternative to the so-called Big Three, for those who were thinking of perhaps voting for Ukip at the general election in a couple of years, all I would simply ask of you is go and do your own research. Go and do your own research, do background checks, do your own fact checking. Yeah, just make sure that your vote is an informed one. And the same goes for any other political party, really. You've got to go and do your own research. Don't just believe what certain people say or certain newspapers say. Be informed, yeah. See you later, folks. Take it easy.